Hello everyone, in this tutorial I will show you how to make the Mercy's healing beam effect like this. So it is roughly similar to the effect but not exactly like that. So let's get started. So first thing we are going to need is a dot particle. So for that material, then I will name this dot underscore m, then open it up, then change the blend mode to translucent and the shading model to unlit, then get a radial gradient, then get two multiplies, then connect one to opacity and the other to emissive color, then get a particle color node and connect this to B and connect the alpha to B of this multiply. So we get a dot like this, then click apply and save. So now we will create the B material. So for that material, then I will name this beam underscore m, then open it up, then change the blend mode to translucent and the shading model to unlit, then check two-sided, then get a linear gradient, now get a cos node, so we get something like this. Now we will add 1 to this, so our gradient looks like this. Now 1 minus this, then we will get this band. Now create two multiply nodes, then connect this to A and connect this to A and connect this to opacity and connect this to emissive color, then get a particle color node and connect this here and connect this here and click apply. So we get something like this. Now we will create the cross. So material cross underscore m, then open it up, then get a linear gradient again, now or we can just copy all of this and paste it here, then duplicate this again and connect this here. Now we will get a max node, connect this here and connect this here, so we get a cross. Now change the blend mode to translucent and the shading model to unlit, then get a material, a multiply node, then connect this here, connect this to opacity, then get a particle color node, connect the color to MC color and the alpha to the A of this multiply. So we get a cross that looks like this. Now we will create that smoke effect that you can see near the sphere. So for that, create a material. I will name this smoke underscore m, then open it up, change the blending mode to translucent and the shading model to unlit, then we will get a texture. The name of the texture is T underscore smoke, bring that in, then multiply, then duplicate this, then get a coordinate node, texture coordinate node, then get a panner, connect this to coordinate, connect this to UV, then connect this to coordinate and connect this to the UVs, and change the size of this to 0.5 and 0.5, and we will change the panner speed to 1, and for this we will give a speed of 0.5. Now we will multiply both of them together like this, so we get something like this. Now connect this to the opacity. Now get a multiply and connect this here and connect this to the opacity. Now get a particle color node, connect this to B and connect this to the MSE color. So we get something like this. Now we will get a new multiply and one more multiply, then connect this here and connect this here and connect this to the opacity. Now get a depth fade and connect this to B, and for this we will give a value of 0.1. So we get this very wispy smoke that we can barely see. Now click apply. Now we will create the spiral. So material, spiral, then open it up. Now change the blend mode to translucent and the shading model to unlit. Then get the texture coordinate, then get an add node and get a 2 vector by pressing and holding 2 and clicking, and connect this to the add. Now change this value to negative 0.5 and change this value to negative 0.25. So now it looks like this. Now we will get a break out float 2 component. Then we will power this. Then we will get a multiply and connect this here. And we will get a sine node. Before that we have to do something called vector to radial value, then connect the radial coordinate to float 2. So now it looks like this. Now we will add both of them together. So now we get a spiral. I will change the period to 0.5 or 0.1, maybe 0.25. Okay, that will do. Now we will get a radial gradient. So radial gradient and multiply this with this. So now we get this spiral. Now we get a depth fade, get 3 multiplies, then get a depth fade and connect this here and connect this here and connect this here and connect this here and get a particle color node, then connect this here and connect this here and connect this to here and connect this to here. So we get a spiral like this. So that's all the material we need. Now we will create the particle system. So for that, go to the content browser. We are actually going to be needing 3 particle system for this. So the first one is going to be the beam particle system. So for that, right click, then particle and beam underscore p, then open it up, then change the type data to beam data, then go to record and change the material to the beam material. So just plop that in. Now go to beam data and set the speed to 0, and increase the sheet to 3, and change the beam method to target. Now go to the empty spot in the module, right click and go to beam, source, then change this to user set, and for x we will give a value of minus 400, and for x, y and c we will give a value of 0. Then get target from beam also, then change this to 400, then set y and c to 0. Now we will go to the target tangent method and change this to user set, and set x to 0 and c to 20 or minus 20. I'm going to set it to 20. Then go to source, do the same thing. So go to source tangent method and user set 0, then give a value of 20 or minus 20 here, because we give 20 here. Now to make this bend we have to give interpolation points. So go here and change the points like that. So it is curving this way. That's fine. We can actually set this to a very low value like 5, and here we can give a value of minus 5 like that. Remember, we can also set these values in the blueprint, so you can control the tangent from the blueprint also. So now we will add a noise to this. So go to empty spot, then beam noise, and click to enable log frequency, then change this to 20. Now go to noise range and change this to vector uniform, and change this value to minus 20, 20 and 20 for the C, and minus 20 and minus 20. So we get something that looks like this. Now reduce the value. So it kind of looks like this. Maybe 6. Okay, that's fine. Now we will give it a color. Delete color overlay, then we will get a initial color and change this to an yellowish color, maybe 22 and 25. And we will spawn like 5 and go to beam data and change the max count to 5 or 2. Okay, 2 will be fine. Okay, that's all we need to do here. Now we will make the portion that is seen in the body of the other player, you know, like the one the cross is coming out and there are some particles going in every direction and the smoke. So we are going to make that. So particle system, then body underscore p, then open it up. Then we will first make the cross. So go to record and select the cross material, apply that. Then I will change the color. So the first color is going to be 25 and 25 in the green and the red, and the last color is going to be 0.5 and 0.5 for RNG, then 0 for blue. So it kind of looks like this. Now we will get a size over life. So size by life. For 0 we will give a value of 1 and 1 and 1, and for 1 we will give a value of 0 and 0 and 0. Then I will change this to auto curve and also this to auto curve. Now I will go to initial velocity and change this to 100 and change this to -100 and change this to 100 and change this to -100, and here I will change this value to 200 and 200. Then we will get an acceleration by life. So acceleration by life, and add 2 points, change the in value to 1 here, and for this we will give a value of 500 for Z, and for this we will give a value of -1000 or -2000. So it kind of falls down. I will add a location sphere like that. Now we will make the spawn come in different bursts. So change this to float constant and add a burst list, and for the count I will give a value of 50 like that. Maybe 50 is too much, change that to 30 like that. Now to control the period or the frequency at which this particle is coming, go to record and change the emitter direction to 3. Now this will only happen every 3 seconds. So that's what we need. Now to create the smoke effect, so go to the content browser and select this smoke material, then create a new particle. So we can see that the smoke is already visible. So I will just hide this. So here we don't really need the initial velocity, and there is some issue with this. We need to fix that. So open it up. So here get a new multiply and get a radial gradient and connect this here. So that's all we need to do there. Now change the color to yellow and this color to black, or you can just select uniform or constant and change this color to yellow. Now we will add a rotation to this. So rotation, initial rotation. So it kind of looks like smoke. Now we can change the size. So change the size to maybe 50 and 50. So it looks like this. Now we will create the particle that is going in all the direction. The small particle, you can see that going in every direction. So to make that, select the dot, then go to body particle system, then create a new particle system, then hide this, then here so here go to record and change the screen alignment to PSI velocity. So this will allow us to non-uniformly scale the particles. So now go to initial size and change the size to 5 and 5 and change the size to 10 and 10, or change the size to 2 and 2. So it looks like this. Now I will go to velocity, then change this to 100, 100, minus 100, minus 100, minus 100. So it will go in every direction. Now change the color to 22, 22, and here we will change this to 0, 0, 0, and change this blue value to 0. So we get an yellow color. Now increase the particle count to like 30 or something. So it kind of looks like that. So that's all we need to do here. Now we will create the spiral particle like the one you can see on the gun. So to create that, right click, particle system, spiral underscore P, then open it up. Then we will change the material to the spiral. Now go to record, then change the emitter loop to 1, then go to lifetime, change this to 0, then I will delete the initial velocity module, then I will add a rotation rate, then I will change this to min of 1 and max of 1, then we will change the spawn to 1 or 0 and go to the burst list and change this to 1. So we get this single spinning spiral. Now delete the color overlay, then go to color, initial color, then change this to 2, 2, 2, 2, then change this to 0. And that's all we need to do. So now we will create the small particle effect that we see here. You can see some small particles coming out. So select the dot material, then new particle system, then change the initial velocity to 100, 100, 100, then minus 100, minus 100, and minus 100. So it goes all the way. So it goes in every direction. Then change the initial size to 2 and 2, or 2 and 1, and get a color overlay and change this value to 22, 22, 0, then change this value to black, then change the lifetime to constant and 0.2, like that. So that's all we need to do there. So we have created all the particle systems. Now we will work with the blueprint. So go to first person blueprint, then blueprints, then open first person character out. Then here you need to add an arrow component like this. You can go here and add component, arrow component, and position it here. So here you need to add an arrow component. So for that, go to add component, arrow component, then position it here. Then we are going to make all of this. So I'll just delete this, then right click, then type in left mouse button. Then we will do a line trace by channel. So type in line trace by channel. Then connect this to pressed, and for the start location we will get the world location of the sphere. So get world location, and for the end location we will get the world location of the arrow component. Connect this here and connect this here, and if I change this to persistent and go to the level, so here is some issue. Okay, I'm just going to disconnect this or delete the tick. So now you can see a line trace like that. Now we will break this and get a branch. Connect this here and connect this here. Then we will spawn the emitter. So the first emitter we are going to spawn is the beam emitter. So right click and type in spawn emitter. Spawn emitter at location. Then connect this to true, and for the asset we will select the beam underscore p. Now for the location we will give the world location of the sphere, and now we will set source beam point, and we will drag from here and type in set target beam point, and connect this here. And for this we will give the world location of the sphere, and for this we will give the impact location. Now if I press play, and so now you can see there is some issues with this. So to fix that, get event tick and connect this here. So we are getting an error here. So to fix that, we will just get is valid, then connect this here and connect the valid to here, and disconnect this and connect this here. So this will check if this actor is present or not, and if it is present then this will happen. There are other ways of doing this without using a tick, but to make this tutorial short and easy, I will just use the tick. So here for the hit location, I will change this to impact point and connect this here. So just open up the beam and go to target. Change this target method to user set. Now it will work fine. So as you can see, it is working. Maybe our beam is a bit too big, so change the initial size to 5 and 5. So now it is working. It is curving downwards because of our tangent. We change that to -5, and for the source we'll give a value of 5. It will curve upwards like that. You can also set the tangents from here, so you can dynamically change the curve of the beam like that if you want. So we have created this. Now we will add the other two particle systems. So for that, bring it here or get a sequence node. Sequence and add a new point, then connect this to true, then connect this here. Then we will spawn emitter at attached node at location. Then duplicate this, then connect this here and connect this here. Then here for the emitter template, we will add the body particle, so add that. Then for this we will add the spiral, so add that. So the spiral should be at the sphere, so drag the sphere in and connect this here, and this body particle system should be at the hit component, so out hit component, then connect this here, then compile. So we can actually see our spiral because I think it is too small, and there are some other issues with this also, so let's fix all that. So now change this to snap to target and change this to snap to target. Then we will go to the body and we will click this and click this so we can see all of that. Then we will go to spiral and change the initial size of the spiral to 50 and 50. Now let's see. So the spiral is not moving with us. So to fix that, go to the spiral, required, and click use local space. So that's all we need to do. So now this will follow the player like that. Maybe our spiral is a bit too big, so go to initial size and change this to 25 and 25. Let's see. So now it looks fine. We can also reduce the noise scale. So go to beam and noise, then change this to 2 or maybe 3. I think 3 should be fine. We can also increase the interpolation points if you want. Like 30. Now we can increase the noise. So play around with those values till you get a look you want. You can also increase the size of the smoke. So I'll change the size of the smoke to maybe 200 and 200. Maybe that's a bit too big, but let's see. So yeah, that looks fine. So that's it. I am wrapping this tutorial up. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more tutorials like this. Thanks.